All right, well, I decided that I was going to go a little bit early today, mainly because I wanted to just get this over with. I'm preparing for a live stream with my buddy who's coming into town. Actually, I'm tracking his flight right now. We're going to do 2 streams, maybe 3 streams this weekend, Sunday and Monday at airports. So it's called plane spotting. That's a common thing. I grew up just to the east of New Orleans International Airport. That's where I developed my love for aviation, and I saw lots of planes take off and land. And ultimately, that ended up resulting in me getting my pilot's license just right after I got my driver's license. And although technology kind of took me in a different direction from a career standpoint, it allowed me to really come up with technology as it relates to aviation, all kinds of solutions. So what I'm here to do today is just show you very quickly how you can use some of Ecamm's overlays. So you can see right now I've got a couple of things going up. I'm just going to go back to my screen for a second, just me. So what is it about Ecamm that you can do that you can't do with other devices or other products? First of all, everything's data driven in terms of overlays. You can have a web widget. You can also have other camera inputs that will take from the thing that you're using as a camera and use its data to generate the graphics. So it's not as hard as it sounds. It's actually fairly straightforward. So hopefully I can walk you through a couple of these things and just kind of show you how I'm doing stuff here. So I'm gonna go back to the scene that I was just on, and this is something that I'm putting together. It's not finished. It's not even remotely finished, but it gives you an idea of what kinds of things we could potentially, do with Ecamm. First and foremost, you look down at the bottom of the screen, you see this thing that says AirNav Radar. AirNav Radar is, this is a web widget. So this is very straightforward. You can go to the AirNav website, or you can just type in, you Google AirNav widget, and you can plop this right into Ecamm. So right now, for instance, I'm looking at, this is Boeing Field, but if I were to double click on this, and I'm going to edit the widget. I'm not in live demo mode right now, so I'm just going to update this real quick. You'll see. So I'm going to change the airport identifier here from Boeing Field to SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma International. And you'll see it'll disappear for a second as it pulls new data in. And eventually it should pop up. Let's see. Well, nothing like live. Let's try that again. Come on. Or maybe, I got the right thing there. Well, let's keep trying it. See if we can get it to refresh. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's there. Takes a little time to get in, but you can see now I'm looking at SeaTac, and you can see I've got Alaska 104. It's a Boeing 737-900. It's coming in from Anchorage down at the bottom there. Scheduled arrival is at 2:38 p.m. and it's coming in on runway 34. Right. So this is really cool. You can see this stuff and it can be projected onto your live stream. So for somebody like me, where I'm doing this as a long stream, I mean, I would say that most plane spotting streams can go anywhere from 2 hours up to 12. It really depends on the live streamer, and it's how much content there is. Some airports are busier than others, so on and so forth. So whether or not you want to actually do a live stream with this amount of content and this amount of data, it's going to be totally up to you. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just this is a really cool thing. You can put this on the screen. Web widgets are nothing new. We've talked at length within Ecamm using like Uno overlays and other as well. Widgets they're all over the place. So as long as you can get the widget code, you can dump that into Ecamm, and then away you go. So that's one example of a way to have data-driven overlay. So these are constant dynamic updating things. So this AirNav bug down at the bottom, it's not even a lower 2/3, it's like a lower 16th. It is taking up just a small amount of space, but it's updating constantly. And as new planes come in and other planes cycle out, that will all show up here inside of Ecamm, because it's just pulling that data in real time, which I think is super slick, because then there is no real need for you to interact with that after that. I mean, it's kind of a secondary thought. So I like that, because you can focus on the show, right? All the other things, that data, if you think of like stock tickers and stuff like that, you can put those on the screen, and they can be updating in real time using the web widgets, which is great. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened there. Something went wrong. I will say this: I'm on a beta of Ecamm, like actually not even a beta; it's an alpha. Can't talk much about it, but if there are little hiccups here and there, that's the way it is. Sorry. Okay, so let's get back to it. So there's another thing here it's actually pretty interesting. Let me group all my windows here, arrange all windows, because that one got out of place. All right, there we go. And that is this magnetic. It's not really a magnetic compass. It's what's called a this is a directional indicator. So this is going to tell you where you are pointing, right? It's like a compass in some ways, but it's not magnetic. It's using GPS. So how am I getting this data? Well, it's actually pretty interesting. The way I'm doing is I'm pulling in an app from my iPhone that is actually sitting on top of this camera right here. So you can see my iPhone right here. I'll pull the camera up for a second. This is the camera that I'll be shooting with. Notice as I turn the camera, that is changing. See that? How the heck is that happening? How am I getting a compass reading on my camera's pointing direction? Well, why does that matter too? Well, for aviation geeks, it's kind of a nerdy thing, but you at least know where the camera's looking, and then you can track aircraft that way, which is kind of cool. So how am I getting this? Well, there's actually an app on the iPhone that uses the iPhone's gyroscopic sensors, its compass sensor, and its GPS sensor to provide this data, and then I'm capturing that as a camera within Ecamm. So let me show you how I did it, and I'll do this a couple of times. I'll show you. This is the final result that you're seeing right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new scene. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go into demo mode here, because I've got a lot going on, and I'm on my laptop. Believe it or not, I'm running this stream off of a 2019 Intel laptop. I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess I like to do this to myself, but regardless, we're going to make it work. So I'm going to create a new scene here, just a new empty scene, and it's going to pull up the iPhone camera at the moment. So I'm going to go blank here, and I'll put in the camera for moi. So I'll go to camera B, not C, I want B. There we go. So here I am. Okay, so now how did I get that? Well, you kind of saw a little preview there, but what I've got going here, if you look at my iPhone feed, this is my direct feed from the iPhone right now. You see the magnet, or the compass in the center there. There's kind of a close-up view here, and I'm not really sure why that is offset. Let me use Ecamm's effects here to kind of move this around. See if I can. Come on, you. This is going to be camera C, I believe. Or maybe not. What is this? Let's see if we can pull it up here. That's camera A. Okay. Well, it is what it is. we'll leave it at that at the moment. Let me go back in or go into output live demo. Okay, so here's my screen. Oh yes, I will allow it. Okay, here's my screen now. So here I am, howdy. And then I've got, this is a raw feed from the iPhone. This is kind of a crop feed. I don't know what happened here, why it got offset. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But notice this is what my iPhone is displaying. Now watch as I kind of cycle through some of these other gauges here. We've got, oh, let's go to, did I do this wrong? Let's see here. No, we got, well, here, let's do this. We'll do 1 by slots. There we go. So now I should be able to, yeah, should be able to wipe through different, this is cool. Okay, beta version strikes again. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one short because apparently this beta is doing what it's doing. So anyway, you can see that I've got these different gauges that I can pull up. Now, how did I get this into the other scene? Well, I pull it in as a camera. You can see right here, I've got a crop view on this particular instrument. And I want to be able to show this. Now, because it's tied to the iPhone, right? The iPhone has the compass, it has the GPS, and it has a gyroscope in it. So as I turn this camera, you see how it updates, right? And like I was saying with the other one, with the attitude indicator, I'll show in a second. It's super cool. But if I go now, we're going to go back here and go to the main display. There we go. So how did this work? Oh, okay. Well, there it is. It got a little messed up here. So how did this work like this? So let me see if I can. There we go. I kind of jumped ahead here, but what I'm using is a combination of camera effects for this particular feed from my iPhone, and I'm setting the actual size and the shape of the overlay so that it matches the shape of the instrument. So the instrument's circular, so I set my shape to circle. And I also drag down the opacity on it. So now instead of it, you know, I can move this camera I can put this over here, I can put it over there. It doesn't matter, but I kind of want to have it so that when I'm going to switch to the other camera in a second, but you'll see, come on, where was my blue dot? There it is. Come on, there it is. Okay, so now I'll move this down a little bit. So this is just an overlay. There's nothing fancy about it at all. It's just an overlay that is using the iPhone's output as a camera, but then I'm using the combination. So you can see I'm using digital zoom and pan inside of Ecamm here. So if I turn this off, you'll see, you'll get this weird, it kind of zooms out a little bit. And then if I put it back on, I can zoom in and out here, and you can see that I can control how far it's zoomed in to the actual feed. And remember, the feed of the camera is this center one right here. So this is the whole iPhone display being displayed. You can see I've got my time. It's not 9:41. That's a Apple thing. They set it to 9:41 when you take the feed off the camera, off the iPhone display. But you can see this is my live feed from my phone. So I'm just pulling that in. I'm cropping it to the actual instrument, and then I'm using that as an overlay inside of Ecamm, and it just works. And okay, so let me go. I'm gonna go back to the other screen here, and let's see. Pull these up. And if you guys have any questions, feel free. But I know there's only a few people watching at the moment. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the camera here. So this is what I'm going to be using to do my filming. So I'll talk about this in a later reviews. This is my Sony FX30. I just got a Viltrox 75mm f1.2 for low light filming. So, and then I've got also the Sony Ecamm B1M as my shotgun mic. And then on the back here, you can see there's the exact same comp. See that, how that's working? See that? So as I turn, right? So now, as I move the camera left and right, you can see where I'm pointing. And it's updating in real time as an overlay. That's pretty slick. So, and this is the one I wanted to show you. So if I go to this guy here, the attitude indicator, and I pull up, you can see. And then if I turn the camera, this is, I mean, this is like flying an airplane. This is so cool. You see that? So this is all just coming, this is coming from the app, going into the laptop, and then it's just using it as an overlay. I don't know. It's like magic. It just works. So I'm really curious to see how this works out over the next couple of times we use it. We've got, oh, well, my session's timed out. How does that work? Okay, well, all right. So we've got the next 2 days, we're going to be at SeaTac, Boeing Field, Payne Field, and we're going to see how this all works together. We may come down to a point where this kind of stuff is, it ends up being too much fluff and not enough substance, and we'll take it out. But I just thought, you know, it's like as I'm panning the camera, as I'm following an aircraft as it's going down the runway, I'll be able to point it wherever it's going. So like right now I'm actually looking due west, and I never thought this was due west, but there it is. And then I can, you know, keep going here and just follow that aircraft. So super cool, so simple. Ecamm makes it possible. The biggest thing though is just getting your crop settings inside the camera effects window. So going back to this camera, if I click on the overlay here, the camera overlay, you can see that I've got it zoomed in, I've got it cropped, and you have to play with it. I mean, it's not perfect. It's going to be, you can see, for instance, I've got little things here and there that I want to move. I should probably move this down a little bit and kind of center it so that it's, yeah. And this is another thing, doing this with a trackpad, oh my God, what a pain in the butt. But see, I can get it pretty close right there. So now it's, right, that's it. That's all there is to it. The best part about this though is that with Ecamm, you could take your feed from your iPhone. Let's say you have multiple things going on inside your iPhone. You could take those things and separate them out. Meaning you could have a view of the top half of your iPhone and another view of the bottom half of your iPhone. They're both pulling from the iPhone, but you're cropping them using camera effects. So you would use camera effects, so you'd zoom in on the lower portion of the screen and you get that area, then you zoom in on the higher portion of the screen, get that area. You could have two separate camera overlays, one looking at the top portion of the screen, one looking at the bottom portion of the screen, and then using them as overlays. So what I've got going on here right now is I've got some static stuff, I've got some dynamic stuff, all being worked through Ecamm. And so what I've got right now, for instance, I've got this camera here. These are both going through Rodecaster. This is going through a Rodecaster Pro 2 and a Rodecaster Video S, the new Rodecaster Video S that just came out. I'm using that as well. So now, for instance, if I want to switch my feed from this camera to my other camera, I think, how do I do that? I switch the modes here. Let's see. Can we do that? That's going to fade me out. I don't want to do that. Oh, Jeremy went and made a boo-boo cut. There we go. Is that going to do it? Okay, yeah. All right, so this is blurry, obviously. See if I can get it in focus a little bit. This is the problem with the 75 millimeter camera, is that, or 75 millimeter lens, everything's kind of close in. But you can see as I turn the camera, and the best part about this little app is that it reacts a lot like it would in an aircraft. As far as like there's a little bit of a lag. That's not because of the app. That's because the system is trying to mimic that stuff that you would normally see in an aircraft. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. This has probably been the shortest live stream that I've ever done, but I just think that I'm going to put myself back on. We'll do. How do we cut? Come on, Jeremy. What did I do last time? Can I come back? Okay. Let's do that. Can we do that? Okay, that's not working either. Okay. Well, this is here. I can do this. No, I can't do that. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Oh, that's going to be too close. Oh my God, that's way too close. All right. Well, I'm here. See? There I am. And I tried to zoom in. What am I doing? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. This should teach you how to not switch in midstream like this. Okay. Oh well. Cut. There we go. There we go. Whew. All right. There it is. I'm back. Anyway, but I'm gone too. So thanks a lot for watching. For those of you who did watch or you caught me on the replay, really cool. I love the fact that you can do this kind of stuff, because this adds a level of dynamic content to your live stream. And it's not like all the ticker stuff that you get like when you're watching the news and stuff. These are real-time things that actually play into whatever it is you're live streaming. So perhaps you're not in the aviation, perhaps you're in other stuff, but regardless, chances are there are apps that take advantage of things on your iPhone that may benefit your live stream so that you could use your iPhone as a camera while displaying that app's output, whatever it is, onto your live stream. So give it some thought. It's really easy. You bring in the camera, you bring in your iPhone as a camera overlay, you crop it, you set the size of it, and then you publish away. And that's all there is to it. It is really the way I've got things going right now. I'm not sure if this is going to be the way that I do it at the end of the day, but it at least gives me some clarity as far as how I'm going to proceed. Like I said, I'm running on a MacBook Pro 2019 Intel, and I can still do all this stuff. And one of the reasons I went with the Rodecaster video, even though I've only had it 2 days, so I'm still trying to figure stuff out. The reason why I went with this for live streaming is because it takes a lot of the heavy lifting off of my Intel MacBook. And even if you have an M1 or an M2 or an M3 or all the way up to the M5, if you can offload the actual encoding of your video signal from your cameras onto a different device, and I'm not talking about the Ecamm link, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Ecamm link is still drawing power from your USB ports. So that means if you have limited output through your USB ports in terms of power, you start connecting more and more cameras, that's going to start to put a bigger and bigger drain on your laptop, and all of a sudden you're going to notice your battery strength or your battery levels just drop insanely fast. So this having a Rodecaster video, and these the new Video S is, I think it's $4.99. This is, if you're a live streamer, if you're going to be on the road, or if you need like a traditional 3-camera setup, you're doing a podcast where you have a wide shot and 2 close-in shots, the Rodecaster Video S for $4.99. I mean, wasn't paid by them. I bought this, all that other stuff, all those disclaimers. I'm really happy with it. I didn't have a need for it until just now, until this project we've got coming on. But it's all about just buying the stuff you need. But I will say this, having this prime lens from Viltrox, this is some badass stuff. I mean, this thing is solid, and I'm going to do a review on this. I took this out to the airport the other night, pitch black outside, f1.2 aperture. I was able to see things I couldn't see with my eyes. I could see it through the camera's monitor. That's killer, and that's kind of where I want things to be, especially because if you've ever been out at an airport on the ramp in the middle of the night, it's pitch black. You've got the runway lights and the blue lights. So you got the white lights, the blue lights, and that's it. There's nothing else. And having an f1.2 is made a world of difference in terms of the clarity, a lot less noise in the video image. So I'm really looking forward to that. So my channel is up on the screen right now. It's called Go Fly Live. That'll be active this weekend, tomorrow and Monday for Martin Luther King Day. And so we'll be at SeaTac more than likely tomorrow, and then Boeing Field and Payne Field on Monday. So check us out. I mean, even if you're not interested in airplanes, if you want to see how Ecamm can be used in a live production with some really cool stuff, I think you should watch, even if it's only for a couple of minutes, or watch it on the replay. I don't care. I just think if you're in the Ecamm and you're trying to figure out different ways to utilize it, this is pretty killer. So I am going to wrap it up because it is Saturday evening, and I'm going to go, or Saturday afternoon. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Take care.